Welcome to Di-RRec Gaming. A lot of excitement is going on these past few days with our new CEO announcement and our new queen of Xbox sworn in. But all jokes aside, we are having to witness a leadership within Xbox gets attacked early on, which is a good learning curve. We see the active haters of Xbox doing their bidding, which is good because that's also a lesson to be learned. We have witnessed her come out and be vocal with her vision of what she would like to begin Xbox with, which brings a lot of excitement in. A lot of people having many opinions. With that comes a lot of eyes being watched, people taking you to the core serious, and other people thinking that you're just not telling the truth. And then today, and man, has today been one hell of a day, right? But she doubled down on the issue. Also bringing some few key exciting things to address tonight. I'm just here to give my opinion and what I've seen as far as Xbox in the last 24 years. This is going to be my take on it. To the Mighty Chat Pack, there is no wrong answers. There's no wrong views. Your opinions are validated as well. This is the new legal's opinion on what I see with Xbox going forward and what I think the problems and issues created a lot of instability, as I would say, identity for Xbox. So let's get to it, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. To everybody out there for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And like I said, this is every now and then I do this just for the community, just to I just want to see what you guys have to say as well. And back to everybody that's supports the channel. And I'm here for some good discourse, but I'm gonna lay it all down. I hope I do y'all a good service. This is just my opinion. Let's get going, y'all.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
First, I want to say shout out to VAC Records in the building, CBH4 God in the building was good, and my man Ren in the building. To those that are watching from afar, to those who will be watching later on, and to those that are live, to those that make us international, I thank y'all for all the support. Please like, share, spread the word, leave some comments below. And it really is much appreciative. So all my panel members, to the Mighty Chat Pack, y'all know how I feel about y'all. Okay, so this is my take on this situation. I think Microsoft, in the early beginning, how I think of what the return of Xbox should be, and what it means to us, Xbox in its early days, was nothing. We didn't know it was coming. We didn't know it was coming. We didn't have no idea that Xbox would ever exist. And then something like Xbox came along. And it opened up the doors. We knew Microsoft had their hands in the console space. The Dreamcast. We knew Microsoft had its hands in the space with the MXX and what it did during the 80s for gaming developers. We saw Microsoft with PC gaming as well. So we knew Microsoft had been in gaming for a very long time. Out for a while making video games. But nobody saw Microsoft with a console. When it came out with a console, off by storm, mostly due to gamers of the Sega franchise. We were rebels by our cause. We were underdogs. We had the we love to fight. We love to make things. We like to make the impossible happen. You know, we just got that competitive spirit in us. And so when Microsoft came out, it had that fight. We never had an American console with that much hype since Atari, right? And it was good to see something like that get back into the foray. And so we saw it. Many people gravitated to Xbox. And we didn't really have a big core audience like you would think, but 25 million is good enough for a start out. For a company to come out as big as Microsoft, to drop a console out of nowhere and to sell roughly 25 million consoles, and it being a rookie. I mean, it's a rookie. Let's don't take away that Sony had just dropped their first one, and it had roughly been out, what, about 5 to 6 years, right? The PlayStation was fairly new. So you have Microsoft coming out here to compete with Sony. Let's don't ever forget that. The whole essence, the whole point, and that's the whole thing, right? So we can't get away from that, right? Y'all let me know too. Let me know too if my mic goes in and out. Y'all be great to let me know. But it's crazy how we see the stories. We saw the right. We know why Xbox was created and why Xbox got here. So this whole notion of not being competitive, not having that competitive spirit wouldn't even make sense in our culture, right? It wouldn't even make sense in our culture. So the fact that we know that Microsoft got this console in here to compete directly against Sony and want to make their footprint in the gaming industry, that's not a debate. The console was so good. The console may not have sold a whole lot, but for a rookie console, it did great. The word got around. Word got around through its Xbox core fans just how great this console was. Many people got a chance to go to other people's houses and put their hands on it. A lot of PlayStation fans got a chance to put their hands on this Xbox. And then when 2005 come around, the 360 comes out early. It comes out swinging hard. It had a lot of market success. It had a lot of commercial appeal. But one thing that it always had, it had its core gamers. It had its core gamers to come out and make people believe in this product, because that's what it's really all about. There's a certain fundamental value, right? When you make a product that you build off of the core. I don't see any company not doing that. We can sit here and come up with ideas and strategies for what we want our brand to do, but I'm going to list certain companies, y'all, and I want y'all to catch this trend on how they do things, and it's funny because how they look at Xbox today, it's not how we looked at Xbox yesterday, right? And so the 360 having its time to come out a year early gave the Xbox core fans a chance to really showcase what Xbox was all about. That was our highlight console. And we had a point to prove. that, yeah, Xbox deserves to be in this competitional space between PlayStation and Nintendo, right? And you can't think that just because consoles always had success that it can't stumble, it can't make mistakes. Because the Wii proved that with Nintendo. Selling only 14 million consoles was bad. Xbox has never done that. You know, when you think about what the Wii, what the Wii U, what the Wii U did, it devastated Nintendo. And Nintendo had to come out, and when they made that switch, the Switch just basically took Nintendo to a whole new height. They're not going to turn around from that. Saved their whole gaming entity, the Switch did. So for us to think that bad ideas and bad innovations can't cripple a company, we're wrong. It can happen. So these companies, they take big risks when they're coming up with these consoles. But it's valuable to always keep a connection with your fans when you're making them and ask questions and see what your customers like. See if they're optimistic, see if they're going to be positive about some of these things. It helps along the way. It helps listening to what they value, listening to what they think brings justice for their brand, right? Because that's just the way things go. We're the consumer. I mean, the consumer is what's buying the product. So it's like hand in hand. You can't really take that value away from them. You can't, because if they stop buying your product, that's it. Because who else is going to spread the word about that product if you don't have your core fans? If you don't have your core fans, who else is going to spread that value? Nobody is. And so when I saw it off, it had a slew of games. It had a slew of nice, beautiful games. I mean, games that we never ever heard before became franchises. I mean, we had Gears of War, we had Fable. You know, these types of games that just exploded on their own because of the richness they had, the diversity they brought to the game. You had something that stayed with the identity of Xbox, and that was the beginning of it, because we already had Halo, we already had Master Chief as something different. See, the thing about Xbox was it reminded me of Sega in a way where the games that came out on them, they had no identity nowhere else. They were just they fell from heaven, and here they are. You see, unlike Nintendo, Mario Brothers was already in the arcades. It already had a link to it. So people were familiar with it in America. Came out of the arcades as two plumbers running through the pipes. Then it became the Mario Brothers on the NES was more of the lands, right? Mario Land. You went around all the different types of ecosystem of lands to get to the princess in the castle, right? You beat Bowser. So it was different. And you used the pipes to get your coins and everything. Secret pipes and secret tubes and warp zones and all that stuff was implemented. So we knew about Mario, but when I'm talking about like Sonic the Hedgehog, brand new creation. When you're talking about Space Harrier, brand new creation. When you think about R-Type, brand new creation. When you think about Sega putting out Alter Beast, brand new creation. When you think about Shinobi started out in the arcade. Sega already had that bad boy coming to his console. Same with Alter Beast. When you had these things, then Sega became the console of the arcade experience. So it had an identity, right? You knew when you was getting this game, it was going to be the closest version of arcade as possible. So when you look at Xbox, right, what made Xbox special was certain types of games that we didn't think would have been possible of knowing if they never dropped on Xbox, right? We wouldn't know these games. So we had something to hold valuable with the brand. We had certain games that had no identity to nothing, but they were incredible. And we saw that each sequel that came out was just as good as the first one. And we had masterful trilogies. Some of them went beyond trilogies. And so so in time, these games were so big that, hey, we were relinquished just to those names. But it was those games that gave Xbox an identity. So then Xbox Live and all that stuff comes through, and it's a success as well. You know, it's a success as well. And so you got this momentum going. And because of that first year, because of the great games, because the Xbox fans could say something about this console, it had an influence. You had Sony coming out with the PlayStation 3, and the price tag was horrible. The price tag to where the fans did not like it. And so they had an option. They had an option. And of course, a lot of us had 360s. We were all friends out there. And so it was nothing for your homie to come over and grab an Xbox controller on the 360 and play some of these games. So people were getting fun to the 360. Then the next thing you know, people started buying it. Now, the notion of, yeah, we just swap around the console space. Okay, we get it. But that's nothing unordinary. That's the console space. If we plateaued or we're gaining just a little bit, okay, that's just the realization of the console space. But there's ways about growing your community. There's ways about how you retain more money within your core audience. And I'm going to prove that tonight. So when I'm listening to Asha, and if I'm saying her name wrong, forgive me, but Asha, I hear her very well. And I think that a lot of people think it's just PR talk and they're telling her what to say. But I don't think that now. I didn't even think that the first time. I just saw a woman who was humble, who was coming in, wanted to figure out what was going on. She saw some things early on, and she sees that there's a very fundamental disconnect, I think, to what real Xbox fans have been saying for some years now. But there's a fundamental core disconnect within what companies do to grow their brand. I think that's so true. That's so true that I'm going to point that out tonight. And so for her to come out and boldly say something that we haven't even heard, we haven't heard nobody. We've had Phil Spencer, we had Sarah Bond. They didn't even say this. They never touched on the real problem, the real issue, but we saw it from everywhere else. I mean, it's bad even when the gaming media points it out. So it's like, you know, Judah Gamer says Xbox is watered down now because cloud mobile and the games going to the competition platform. So their games are not taken serious no more. It's more of a joke now. See what I'm saying? People aren't just saying this. You have the haters, right? But you do have people who honestly feel this way. And this feeling was created through the last leadership. This falls on the last leadership. No one can put this on her right now. This falls on the last leadership. And I have to agree to a certain extent on what Judah Gaming was saying. I have to agree to it because I'm going to get to it, right? The Kinect, the greatest peripheral in gaming history, over 50 million, right? It's an addition. It's an addition that should have evolved even more, but it got destroyed because bad thinking, bad strategy to impose it. It should have never, an attachment should never be opposed on a brand, on a console. Console should always be sold to itself and have the attachment as a separate item. The Kinect should have never been a priority accessory. Should have never been it because it never was. Yeah, you're gonna say some things that are gonna ruffle people's feathers like the DRM. We get all of that. But Microsoft should have understood in which they to me, I think they gambled on the same underestimating the hatred of that brand. They still did it even in the past leadership. And for what? 2013 to 2025 to 2026. You're talking what? 13 years later, at roughly 15 some change, right? You still see it. PlayStation fans can't stand Xbox, but that doesn't mean you give up. See, you have to be beautiful out here. You just don't give up. PlayStation fans are not as powerful as you think they are. You saw what happened when you messed up and lost those PlayStation fans with the Xbox One. Microsoft, you did that. You did that. You should have been humble, understood the audience you got, that 20-something to 30 million PlayStation fans. That was 30 million something extra voices that would have helped your brand grow. That would have been that 20 to 30 million would have gained some more people off the PlayStation brand and brought over to you, which now causes PlayStation to be more competitive. See, it's all about the competition in the console space. You can't create a happy-go-lucky landscape in a culture that's full of warfare. It's just what it is. It's built off of warfare. Since Atari and television, it's just what it is. You can't make that up. And you don't look at the PlayStation fans as direct enemies. You don't do that, right? I have PlayStation friends. I don't look at them as direct enemies. I just look at them as competitors. They have their reason as to why they're not going to buy an Xbox. But don't think that if Xbox don't ever make something special, something so great, that it won't deter them, because it will. It will. You've already seen that happen. But what you haven't seen, you've never seen the core Xbox fans migrate to PlayStation. You never saw that. We thought that happened. Last generation, the gaming media wanted you to believe that. I mean, I don't even know how Microsoft made it through that Xbox One era. I don't know how they made it. And you absolutely had to have been a crazy fan to go through that. So I've always said, shout outs to the Xbox fans that held the Xbox One era down, because it was you guys that kept this thing going. I mean, you look foolish in the world for supporting it, right? The bad publicity and everything made us look like fools out here. But you knew why you was an Xbox fan. And while the gaming media was lying about the tally of the console sales and everything, they had us looking like we own 35 million, we only sold, and PlayStation was outselling Xbox 3-1, which that's never happened. Okay, that's never happened. All right, these things are judged by the markets. Each market carries a certain amount of video game consoles. Each market. So with the United States being the second biggest, right, as far as gaming go wise, but it is the largest when you talk about the consoles, because China don't really utilize the console space. It's more PC dominant. So when you think about the United States, you think about that as a console dominant market. And the entire history between PlayStation and Xbox, PlayStation has only beat the most ever. I'm talking about even with the PlayStation 2. The highest it's ever beat Xbox in America is about 2.5 million consoles. So this is why you don't get it confused. It's not really the total amount, right? It's never the total amount of sales, as you don't think it like that. You know, there's the part about all of this stuff is people who should be saying this type of stuff don't, right? You have all these articles out here that can be written about this stuff to educate gamers. But like I told y'all, it's not about educating y'all. It's about keeping y'all in this dumb place so they can pay the bills. Listen, and I get it, right? Everything is about entertainment. I get it. But listen, the gaming community, the gaming culture should have a little respect on its name. There should be some education in it, because the educational value of gaming is quite interesting. When you start reading about it, it's interesting no matter what platform it is, right? So they don't tell you that, you know, these markets, like for instance, in the UK, there's only about, out of a whole generation, they average about 5 million consoles, up to between 5 to 8 million. That's it. So the rivalry of Xbox and PlayStation is between 8 to 5 million in the console space. That's it. That's it. In Europe, it's like maybe 38 to 35 million. In the United States, of course, you know, it's 50 and above, you know, and that's how you take it. So you look at areas and you see your strong points, and you look at other areas and you see your not so strong point. So this whole notion of Xbox, right, being competitive, like I said, has always been there. Now, the series comes out, right? And this time, Microsoft made sure the release was going to be in more countries and more markets this time. It was good. It was a good release. Good release. What was it? The first 2 years, 12 million consoles sold. It was beautiful, right? PlayStation, 18 million consoles sold. And we thought this was going to be a great generation. We thought, man, everything was on tune. Even with the mess up of the 20th anniversary, right? Even with all of that, we figured this was going to be a great battle. This is going to be good. This is good for console space. And then the strategy of Phil it became hard pressed. It just for some reason, you know, the expansion of Xbox being on other platforms was just, it was just something that had to happen for some reason. Something just had to happen. And I'm going to tell y'all something. It started, the spirit of the fight started to die off when Phil no longer wanted to attack the console sales. Get it, right? I mean, 2014, he wanted to rid that. So from 2014 to now, we don't have a console sale reading. We get this so-called make-believe numbers, right? And PlayStation, Nintendo, they never swayed from that. And look, having console sales ain't a bad thing. Knowing what your product is doing is a good thing. Because it gives us a determination factor to say, hey, look, what's going on? We're out here doing our best to promote this console, to do our best. Why isn't it selling? What's going on, man? I don't know. The talking starts to begin. When you took away the console sales for the Xbox fans, we don't have a way to validate success. We're not technical, right? This is gaming. We don't get that deep. So the console sales are fundamental kindergarten level of understanding success, right? But we also understand, and here's the other thing, we also understand where the money comes in at. We know that the money comes in from services and accessories, right? So let's stop right there. How do you grow? How do you make money, J-Mac, right? From your console. We know you make money from your games, accessories, your peripherals. So you can have one item, right? And you can have your crowd. How do you triple me? How do you triple me? Well, you triple me, right, J-Mac, through purchases, through items.
Yeah.
So if legal can get, so if you make a handheld, right? I already got a console. I got one purchase of your product. Then you make a handheld and I want it. I get another purchase. Now that's 2 purchases for one person. And then you make a great game. I buy a great 3 purchases for one person. And then you make a service and I buy in the service. You done got out of one customer. 4 purchases out of one customer, games. That's how you grow your core audience. Not so much you don't always have to think about how many people you need to get from a sale, but how many objects I can get out of a sale from one customer. I'm gonna
I
prove that.
I got you saying. I got you saying. Like he took the word of the console sales. Like we don't. Everything's an estimate now, right? Sure, you could be more than 45 million. Who knows? I get it. Listen, I get what you said. What Phil Spencer did, right? You get with the console sales. He doesn't like console wars. He doesn't like tribalism. He doesn't like all of that stuff. I get it, man.
So
And
watch this, games. Watch this real quick.
yeah,
I
hmm
get his theory. And
yeah.
listen, I get his
Me
theory.
too. Me
I
too.
don't
Me
know,
too.
I don't know what sparked it, because we're not talking about 2022, where it was a clear, a clear data chart that showed that the communities in the console space was barely growing. At that point, there wasn't no debate. I get that. But we're talking about in 2014, okay? I
Okay.
don't
Okay. Pause
know.
there. Pause there. Pause there. The reason why my theory why he stopped talking about console sales around 2014 or 2015 because they was beat the PlayStation 4 beat them up, man. They couldn't listen, they couldn't compete. More people just buying the PS4, just the name of it. Because remember, Don Matrick came in. He talked about TV, TV, TV. That hurt the brand really bad. People, you thought this is bad legal? Back then, I've seen people like Angry Joe, and I know you don't like these people naming it, but this is why it affects the brand. People like Angry Joe, the media, right? They don't like Xbox. So what they did is they spit a lot of negative news at Xbox, and it caused a share and it caused a mind share. And for example, remember Tomb Raider was exclusive for Play Xbox? It wasn't even on PC. It wasn't literally exclusive for the console. But what happened? Angry Joe came out. A lot of them came out. They were uproar. Oh, why is it exclusive? Tomb Raider started on the PlayStation 1. No, it didn't. It started on the Sega Saturn. Get your history files. Oh, why they do this and why they do that? And
Well,
that right there, and no. Let me finish. That right there. One of the reasons why Phil Spencer, have to change and he started talking about console sales, tribalism, and everything. And it started from there. The
I got
negativity. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I got all of that. I get
And
that.
I know you
But
get that. I know
but
you get that.
the the tribalism doesn't come from your core audience. Those are your fans. There's no tribalism in your fans. That would be
Mm,
just like Jerry Jones Cowboys saying, you know what? I'm getting rid of the Dallas Cowboys because too many fans love Dallas Cowboys. How does that doesn't even make any sense. So let me
yeah,
let me let
yeah,
me
yeah.
let me let me prove my point. This is what I'm gonna prove. And this is just a validation on why Nintendo stayed the way it is and Play stayed the way it is, and how Xbox strategy under the old regime could not persuade the industry. It just could not. It didn't. We're talking 2-1, right? It didn't persuade them. It didn't change them. Now, some people could say, well, legal. And PlayStation putting his games on Xbox too? Yeah, because I just said we admitted it in 2022. This isn't about Nintendo. PlayStation is not putting its games on Xbox because they think Xbox fans are going to buy a PlayStation. They're putting their games on Xbox to survive. It's about survival right now. They're going through a lot, and they're fixing to go through this lawsuit. So this is about another strategic thing. They're reconstructing their whole infrastructure right now. I mean,
Mm-hmm,
everything's off the table. You heard it. We talked
mm-hmm.
about it a couple shows again. Well, the comments Sony said everything's off the table. So, and then look what happened to Blue Point. Gone. See what I'm saying?
Gone,
So
gone.
PlayStation isn't going to go away from its core value, but it is going to reconstruct. Now, let me read something off to you, and I'm gonna read some of these companies, everybody, and I want y'all to see the trend. I want y'all to see the trend. Now, you can't tell me that having a core audience and building up that core audience, you can't succeed. I'm going to start with Apple. Apple maintains intense customer loyalty through a closed ecosystem. Closed. That's worse. Ecosystem, where devices like the iPhone, the Mac, the watch, see, 3 sales for 1 customer. Closed ecosystem, all right? I'm targeting games with my product. He buys the iPhone. Then he says, you know what, man, I like the MacBook. He buys that. Oh,
Right
man,
in the MacBook.
Look, the
Yeah.
watch and the iPhone could go together. He buys that. So Apple, I done got 3 buys off of one guy. They work seamlessly together. Watch this. Because they work seamlessly together, look what it creates. It creates a high switching cost. They foster this with premium, user-friendly, durable design, supported by excellent, empathetic in-store and digital customer service. I have an Apple store down the street from me in Fort Worth, in the DFW area. It stays crowded because the streets can walk right on in there with any problem. Their customer service is flawless. When you walk out, your issue is solved, right? Additionally, Apple positions itself as a status-driven lifestyle brand, not just a hardware vendor. Now, let's speed it up. Apple right now makes $4 trillion. If having something closed in is horrible, Apple sure is making it look horrible. Apple don't make it look horrible. See, I'm gonna go to another one. Watch this, y'all. Samsung. So I'm making this, I'm gonna be even. There's a lot of Android people out here. So how does Samsung appease its customers? Samsung retains its customers by focus on a customer-centric, human-centric support strategy combined with a deeply integrated ecosystem of products. So once again, Range G4, I sell you one product and I throw out some more products. And if I can get you to buy into those products, I'm winning. See, each product is symbolic as a customer. See what I'm saying? Instead of it actually being a real human being, it's a product that you're buying. You're that extra product that you're buying when you want the phone. You want the phone, but you want to get some earplugs. You want to get this and that, this and that. The sales are coming straight from you, but Samsung doesn't know that. They just see product being bought, right? And they know it's loyalty when they see the numbers don't really change, right? They see this loyalty. They talk to their customers. Their customers tell them what they would like for the next one to come out. They talk to it. See, key retention drivers include proactive AI-powered service, support multiple channels, and done plus one service where staff go above and beyond to resolve issues. Samsung makes about $392 billion. Now look, nowhere near Apple. But guess what? Samsung has more users on their phones than Apple does. But Apple makes more money. You see that? Now let's go to Nintendo. I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. Nintendo, it retains customers through a powerful combination of nostalgia, exclusives, high-quality, family-friendly IPs, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and consistent innovation in hardware that prioritize unique experiences over raw power, such as the Switch. They cultivate deep emotional loyalty. See? Through consistent, accessible gaming experiences that appeal to both children and adults. So how does Nintendo get theirs? They get there by making adult products and children products at the same time, representing their consoles through loyalty. Watch this now. Let's keep going. Let's talk about PlayStation. Okay, let's get to play. Okay, so let's look at PlayStation, everybody. PlayStation retains its customers through a wallet guarded ecosystem, exclusive, high-quality first-party titles, and the PlayStation Plus subscription service, which offers monthly games and online access. They further lock in users by digital-only game purchases through the PlayStation Stars, the loyalty program, and for a time exclusive hardware peripherals. See that? From the core out. You won't see nothing. You don't hear nothing about nothing else. Now watch this. Now I want everybody to hear this one. This was strange to me when I looked up Xbox, right? And it was funny because the description of Xbox is this. And I mean, people like Judah is right. You know what I'm saying? This right here is correct. I have to agree. Now I want everybody to see this, and I want y'all to hear this, because this is the image. This is the identity of Xbox. Okay. Xbox is struggling with customer brand loyalty. Games Heroes, let me tell you something. When your brand doesn't have loyalty, people, it's not going to do good. Okay. So this notion that brand loyalty is just something that we can just take lightly, you can't. You cannot, because brand loyalty is your basic kindergarten, pre-K fundamental value for your success for your company. So watch this. Xbox is struggling with customer brand loyalty, y'all, due to a strategic shift that has eroded its identity as a dedicated console manufacturer, compounded by declining hardware sales, price hikes, and lack of exclusive must-play games. Watch this. By 2025, Xbox had pivoted toward becoming a multi-platform service provider rather than focusing on exclusive console hardware, leading to a collapse in sales compared to competitors like PlayStation and Nintendo.
Okay, pause there. Pause there. So
I'm almost done. I'm about almost done. I'm gonna finish it. Watch this. Here's my point, games. Here's my point, Mighty Chat, and to all the gamers around the world. Here's my point to this. By the end, did the strategy work or did it not work? Watch this. By the end of 2025, Xbox was facing its worst year on record. I'm gonna repeat this again. By the end of 2025, just 2 months ago, right? Ain't been that long ago. Xbox was facing its worst year on record for hardware sales, leading to a feeling that the brand is, for all intents and purposes, transitioning away from consoles entirely. So that's not a good look. Did it work? No, it did not work. You have to understand that, yes, expansion is great, but where Xbox has failed, it's failed in what happened to the special edition consoles. When Call of Duty came out, right? When we finally bought the ABK deal and the very next year came out, there was no special edition Call of Duty.
They can't do that.
They wanted to do raps. No, they wanted to do raps.
But they can't. Legally, they can't do that. That was in the FTC. They can't. Both companies can't do that anymore. Everything they call them do that. The perks, the exclusive content, you can't do that anymore. Go ahead. That was in the FTC.
I'm talking about consoles, game.
Yeah. I know you talk about. I'm talking about. Yeah, I know you talk about the console. Right. Yeah, they can't. No. Legally.
Look,
but legal is in the FTC. Yeah, it's in the FTC.
I get that. Yeah, but that was part of the giving into process. At this point, what was Microsoft going to do? Right? That's the point I'm trying to say. Because that wasn't when they bought Bethesda, right? They did those. I get it. They did those. But you was doing them in a time where you was still putting out that strategic play, put your games anywhere, right? So at that point in time, it was dying off. The feeling was dying. Nobody really cared. So they saw that. So let's go with the raps, right? Raps are cool, whatever. We saw that. Starfield was not part of the FTC. It didn't have a customized console.
Hold on. I'm asking a question. Did it have a Blackout 7 wrap or no? Only 6, right?
Yeah, they did. I think so. Yeah,
I'm
they had
gonna
the
Google it right
controllers. I
now.
know that much.
Yeah, I had the control. I'm gonna Google it right now. Black
They had the
Ops.
Witcher 3 controllers too.
Yeah, yeah. I remember 6 had the wrap.
Yeah.
I don't see the 7 have one.
So when you
Hold
think
on.
of these things,
No,
right? I'm
no,
looking.
no.
It's a War E Day coming, right?
Mhm.
And I can't imagine Xbox not having a customized Gears of War Series S and X. I can't imagine that, right?
I think they're gonna do it.
So with the controllers, I can't imagine it.
I think they're
But
gonna do it.
if you want to get on the right track, do that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. So
It's
remember, every time they make them like their new game come out, they had the new controllers. Like, look at the Doom controller. So these are like exclusive because PlayStation doesn't have the Doom controller, right? And the color, yeah, they always do that. But for like the custom console thing, they can't do that for Call of Duty. But for other consoles, yeah, I've said this a couple times, man. Like, I don't understand why Microsoft like have the Gears, special console. Halo Infinite should have their own special console. Came out in 2021.
it was trash.
It was trash. And everything you say illegal. Like, you're telling the truth. Like, but you're telling the truth, man. They did lost the fight. They did lost some of the people, right? The console still look. I don't know how they had the console sold 45 million.
Because that's the
I
core
don't.
audience. I just talked
That's the
about that
yeah,
previously.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
core
yeah,
audience
yeah,
is what's doing
yeah.
this.
They're doing this, yeah. But
What's up, Dolan?
then, so they lost 20 million people in the 360 to the Xbox, whatever, right?
Yeah, more
To
than that.
gain that, yeah, more than that. So gain these people back, right? I think next generation will do it, not this, because if Microsoft never bought ABK, right? Call of Duty was still marketed with PlayStation. So remember, their contract wasn't up to 2026 or 2027 because they have a 10-year contract. So so that means that Xbox will be in way a lot of trouble right now if they didn't be bought ABK because the special skins, the consoles, like talk about you talk about this a while ago, that would be favorite to PlayStation. We never had a kind of we never had a special what's it called a special controller for Call of Duty since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, right?
We're
Because
in the
they lost.
25th anniversary, right?
Yeah,
We're in the
yeah,
25th
and now
anniversary.
now we're in the
And we don't
25th
even we don't
anniversary.
even know if we're getting a 25th anniversary special console.
I text you that in real life, like, yo, they're making the 25th anniversary console. The next minute, oh, there's an update. No, we're not doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're we're
And
still
listen,
we're
okay,
still in this
go
year
ahead.
with no hype. We're still in this year with no hype.
Look,
That's
look
the
at
problem.
PlayStation.
That
Look, but
these
look
are
at
problems. These
PlayStation.
are the issues.
Yeah, this is the issue. Look
You
at
see what I'm saying?
PlayStation. When they had like the 2030 anniversary,
And the
they
30th
hyped that shit.
anniversary. How many
Yeah, they
times have
hype
they
it
made
up.
a how many times has PlayStation made a original version of the PlayStation in the form of an anniversary edition? I can't count. You know what I'm saying? And look, and they sell out. And we make fun of them, but you
I'm
want
in
to know
front
what
of him.
that's called? But you want to know what that's called? That's called brand loyalty. That's not abnormal, people. See, we have been when Phil took away the console sales from us, right? He
Yeah.
wasn't he wasn't just taking it away. He was reconstructing our way of thinking. There's nothing wrong with you being a console warrior. As long as you're not toxic, as long as you're not making it
There it goes.
personal, that's
There it
part
goes.
of the culture. So you're taking this competitive spirit away from your fans that ain't known nothing but that because we're already, you know what? We're already the underdogs by default. PlayStation, the Xbox community is 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 the underdog by default by PlayStation Nintendo. by default. So to take away the only good thing that we have as our competitive spirit away is stripping us from our essence. So now you just got a community that's supposed to be complacent with whatever happens. And that's what happened to us. We couldn't explain anything that was happening. And you know, the funny part is the Blazers fans was questioning it. Like, damn, I don't even know why y'all even buying an Xbox.
Ligo, sorry to cut you off. The Xbox says console war that he encouraged was healthy for the industry. He was right.
Yeah,
Peter Moore.
bro, because it's not hard to understand.
And Peter Moore told the truth. I used the console war back in the days.
Right, exactly. Think about all this. Okay, I'll give it to this like this. Where is the Xbox original headset? Right? Where's the small headset at? We have the big ones. We got the Dolby Atmos, but where's the little one? Where's the one? What I'm talking about is where's the one that comes with the Xbox?
Yeah.
Xbox, they got away from all the little things that made Xbox what
Xbox great is. Yeah, and legal, you're legal. You could preach all you want to. You're telling the truth.
We got away from our voice command. We sold that. We third party that off. We got away from Mixer. We got like what you
and legal. One thing I would say too. I know. I'll cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is the last time. They get rid of the Kinect. Now, listen. I'm gonna say this right. The Kinect was a great peripheral, man. It was a game changer, right? I understand why they get rid of the Kinect with the Xbox One days because that's one reason why the Xbox wasn't selling. But what they should have done, I don't understand how these people do it, right? They should have made two Xboxes out there in the Xbox One era. One was a Kinect with $500. One was out the Kinect with $399. Give people options to do it, but they didn't do it. Yeah, they didn't do it. And people to this day miss the Kinect. Cause everything the Xbox One did with the TV, we're doing right now with smart TVs. The Xbox Xbox is always innovating, always ahead of the game. The problem is,
incredibly off.
Yeah, but the problem is, what ahead of the game, the world is not ready to adapt it yet. They should don't
patient for it. Look,
and look, when they do the TV, I understand why they do the TV. Because as a gamer, it didn't confuse me, but it confused the casual because they don't know better. Right. They don't know what the Go ahead. Look, I'm sorry, man.
You're good. No, because what you're saying is true too. Look, I'm just gonna be for thanks for that, J Mac. I appreciate that compliment. But look, I gotta sit here as an Xbox fan and know deep down in my Xbox core soul that the Xbox One had better technology even than the damn Series S and X right now. In my core, I have to realize that. And that's sad. Look, bro, I told you the snap feature for the achievements 100 times better than what we got. Still walking around. Bro, listen, man. And listen to me good, games. Maddie chat, I hate this feeling that I have. We're still walking around with this PIB achievement square on our goddamn TV screen that Mike Ybarra made for us under the new Xbox experience. Remember that? Remember 2015. Before he left, he did something for us, so we'll have a way to track our achievement. That's been his thing since then. Look, since he left, they haven't done anything to bet. They haven't done anything. And you can't tell me they can't blade that shit and put it, because we got blades in our menu screen. Those are blades. When you're going across, those are blades. You mean to tell me you can't put that over on the side? That's not taken away from your gaming experience. Like everything that was great, it's like Xbox got away from it. The things that made it great got away. They got away from it. I just, instead of building upon the greatness, they got rid of the stuff. Mixer wasn't making Mixer. they wasn't losing money on Mixer, but they were breaking even on Mixer. Okay, then the fans were telling you, they were telling you what the problem was. One of the problems with Mixer was, if you were one of these guys or girls that were on Mixer for the first time, you had no way of coming into your own Xbox community and build straight from it. You had no way of being seen. They put these heavy blocks on top of your shoulders to break through, to get through Mixer, which didn't make no damn sense, because you're already a part of the Xbox community. You shouldn't be acting like you're on Twitch. It's on the Xbox. So you should be able to come in there. Your friends should be able to see you off top. Everything should be going and you build from there. But it wasn't like that. They catered to all the people who came over there, put their money in, got their partners. And that's all we kept seeing was these partnered gamers. Nah, bro, it's supposed to have been a full Xbox community. And so they hurt that. Then they were, you know what? Your views come in there. You get these little special little things, and the little gifts that you get for being a viewer for so long will help out your channel and all that. And that started to work some. And it got to where I was getting like 5 new followers a day. It was working a little bit. And then all of a sudden, poof, it was gone. They had already lost their little deal with Twitch due to Mixer, but before that, they lost a little deal with Twitch. And Sony came in as the genius they are, always waiting for Microsoft to mess up. And they got that 10-year contract with Twitch and made us look stupid. They got the thing on their controller.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
They on their controller where all they got to do is, and they can record. Yeah, you can laugh and say, "Oh yeah," but it's a 720, whatever.
Yeah.
But PlayStation fans don't care about that. The fact
no, they know.
Sit there and you can go on YouTube right now, and there's a dude that recorded his whole gameplay of God of War from that controller and download it on YouTube at 720. He didn't care.
No, he didn't. No.
The fact that he could just do that,
mm-hmm.
and you let Sony beat you to that punch. See, that's the stupid stuff that I didn't understand. Here you are, a tech giant, and you let Sony beat you at little bitty ideas like that, little bitty situations like that, because you flunking, because you're losing yourself within this whole
and I think Mixer,
which is not even that serious. You take that competition, right?
Yeah.
And you make it work for your core audience. Forget. When she said, it's not really about, our focus isn't about building our strategy somewhere else right now. We can't even think like that when we ain't even got our core audience together. Like, this doesn't even make no sense. It's like, okay, Rain, I'm gonna talk about Rain G4's household. All I'm gonna do every day is talk about Rain G4's household and my household I even got under control. My household ain't. How am I gonna talk about somebody else's household when I ain't got my household under control? How am I gonna help Dolanite's situation when I ain't got my situation? It doesn't make any sense. Of course, all you're doing is solidifying where they are. Look, meet people where they are. Okay, fine, but that's not how these other successful businesses are not meeting anybody where they are. Apple don't care that you got. Apple does not care that you got a Samsung Galaxy. They are not going to put their stuff on your phone to meet you where they're at. You know what they're going to do? Games, we're going to get another accessory. We're going to make another accessory, and Games is going to like it, and that'll be the 4th accessory he buys from us, and that's how we make our money. Exactly.
But legal. I think 2 reasons why Microsoft do this. One, because I forget the first one. I just lost my train of thought. But the second one is Android does this. Like, they put their operating system everywhere. Like, so they license their operating systems to Samsung, to the Motorola, and remember, Google has their own phone. I got the Google Pixel 8. That's their own phone. So Microsoft, like, okay, you know what? We can't beat Sony in console sales. We had to do our own thing.
It's not that's the myth.
That's what the myth. But that's what. Go ahead.
Why are you focusing on trying to beat them at the console sale? Look, Samsung's not trying to beat Apple in the home market.
No. They
That's
never.
As a $396 billion company saying, you know what, man, we just can't get the $4 trillion and we just can't compete. We're gonna just right. They're not thinking like that. Samsung is thinking about, well, how are we gonna make our brand more stronger?
Stronger. Well, then stronger.
Right, because when you make a better product, you're going to attract. See, at some point in time, right? Somebody's gonna look over that fence and say, "Damn, man, I didn't know the Galaxy was doing that and doing this and doing that and doing this." Because in the electronical space, right? The game in electronical space, FOMO rules. Nobody wants to look like they got the weakest situation out here. Nobody does. So the goal is to make the most attractive, most valuable, most price what I'm trying to say, most price adopted level of play for pockets. You're trying to put the best accessories, peripherals, whatever you want to do to this brand, so that you get more than just one sell out of it. The thing that's happening with Xbox is all we got is an Xbox and a headset now.
But legal. Yeah, but legal. Remember back in the days in the 360 era, right? They had celebrities promoting Xbox. We got everybody with that Xbox. So
yes, that's part of the
Snoop. That's part of the marketing. That's part of the culture. Snoop Dogg. Yes. All of them got Xboxes. Nowadays, I don't see it. I don't see no commercials. Listen. I don't see most people know about PlayStation than Xbox today.
That's correct. Hell, we gotta get back to that. We gotta
get back the mind share back. See, Phil Spencer. No. Phil Spencer did a good job to save the Xbox brand, because you know the story. I'm not going to tell the story again. We know about the story, right? But he failed to get the mind share back because he wants to do his own thing. Now, did it work? No. All right. So that's why you got to have a better CEO or somebody in to get that mind share back. But legal, I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
Let's say in 2014, they didn't hire Phil Spencer. Some people say, you know how many years they're trying to fire Spencer? No. How many years they trying to fire Spencer? They're trying to fire Spencer to the Redfall situation, right? If you fire the guy in 2014 or 2015, I'd say 2016, right? Who's going to replace him that time? Nobody wasn't there. Legal. Everybody left. Phil Spencer was the only one there trying to save the brand. And that's one of the reasons why he's still there for 10 years. That man outlasts Reggie Fils, who made for Nintendo. He outlawed Doug Bowser. He outlasts Sean Layton, Andrew House.
Keep naming.
He left Andrew House. He left what the other dude name? The little short. What the other dude? Kazurai, Jack Trenton. Jim Ryan. He laughed out. Look, yo. Remember the Game Awards? Yeah, last out Bill Gates. Remember the Game of Remember the Game Awards? You had Razzie, Phil, and Sean Layton. Yeah, in the Game Award, and they were coming in the Game Awards. He outlasted all of these dudes.
He did.
You know why? He outlasted all of these dudes? Because he was the only. There you go. If they had another legal, if they had another person there, mark my words, they will have get rid of him years ago. Legal. Look at her. Look at Herman Hurst. Right. Do you think Sony has another dude over Herman Hurst? Yeah. If he continue to do some BS, they're gonna get rid of him. Yeah. They want to get rid of him soon, very soon. And when they get rid of him, guess what? They have another person over him. Hey, Microsoft didn't have nobody outside of Phil Spencer. It was difficult. Who the hell they have there? Matt Booty wasn't there. Sarah Bond
None of
wasn't
that.
there. None of them wasn't there back in the
Look.
days.
I get
I
that's his
get what you're
legacy.
saying.
That's his
Yeah, go
legacy. I
ahead.
get all of that. But
Yeah, I get all of that. I
I'm
no, go
not
ahead, go ahead.
holding Phil Spencer. I'm not holding Phil Spencer to what he's done. I'm not talking about that because you're right. Phil Spencer kept Xbox up. That's his legacy. What I'm talking about is the core audience. It's not about Phil Spencer's legacy. It's about the identity of Xbox being lost within its core audience. Those are the basic fundamental building blocks of success of any brand. This is why the PlayStation fans don't scratch their head. They're like, you remember, I remember when it was all going down, the PlayStation fans said, damn, we're really
Yeah.
going to see the end of Xbox. Like
Yeah, they want they
Microsoft
want
was
to end the
really going to
back. Yeah.
destroy Xbox because honestly, they couldn't. I mean, really, nobody could understand it. Exactly. Let me see. Let me go to his name real quick. Um, Gold Grid. Gold Grid. It doesn't matter how long he outlasts if he didn't get the job done. That's business. Now listen. He got the job done
He got the
as
job
far
done.
as
Yeah.
keeping. No, he got the job done as far as keeping Xbox afloat. But I know what he's talking about. He's talking about he did. Okay, let me finish what he's saying, and then I'll elaborate. Xbox should have been number one by now. It's time to move to the next level, bro. Exactly. Okay, I 1000% agree with him. Look. Sick. What is it? What 2004? I give him 2000. What is it? 2000. So 12 years. Phil Spencer had 12 years. We done went through 2 console cycles with a mid-cycle generation. Okay, 12 years. Look, I'm not asking for the man to perform miracles, right? Um, but when you look at all the drastic changes that's happened, he's right. When you think about this, I didn't even think about go grid. Check this out. If I knew, right, I had 12 years on my plate to do something, how do I not show urgency? Because really, that's a generation and a half. That's all Phil had. He had a generation and a half of games. And you're telling me a generation and a half does not put uh put urgency in your heart? Like, I get it. The thing about it is time was running out. It looked like time was running out. And I need to come up with something that's going to just bring the money in. Because if I could just bring the money into Microsoft, then Microsoft will be okay with Xbox, right? Because he had to do something to prove why
And that's why they
Microsoft.
couldn't. And that's why they couldn't fire him.
Yeah. They had to. They had in his early years. Phil Spencer was bringing the money in his early years, right? He
Yeah.
doing everything he could to get the money going, right? We
Yes.
get Sarah Bond in there. We found out they had some clashes, but because Sarah Bond wasn't even going for that vision, she wanted to come in and fight. See, anybody that come, okay, let's talk about Sarah Bond for a minute. Sarah Bond comes from the phone mobility things, right?
T-Mobile.
A lot of her first fruits started in Europe. Okay, when Sprint when Sprint was going under, Sprint lost its competitive fight, right? Because AT&T took over Singular, Verizon was strong, and so you got T-Mobile out here, right? T-Mobile was struggling how to keep its core, right? And the reason why T-Mobile was losing its core was because of its plans. Their plans sucked. They didn't know how to compete with their plans. They were coming up with some weak plans, and there you go, right? Everybody, their fans started to look over that fence and saying, damn, AT&T's plans look more attractive. Verizon plans look more attractive. So they started leaving, right? Now, no company's gonna bitch about millions of people coming into them. Nobody's gonna do that. It's your job as a company to figure out how to do your own customers, right? Because without your core customers, you have no business. That's what I'm saying. That's fundamental kindergarten principle. I just read you off some of this stuff, right? So they hire Sarah Bond. Sarah Bond brings in her team, and she gets aggressive. She gets aggressive, and she told him, look, you're going to have to beat these other plans. We're going to have to go low and make these deals attractive. We're going to have to do something to keep what we have, who we got out here. We got to directly go to the core audience that you got. So when they started building these value plans up, hey, man, now people who are struggling, when you go through hard times, a lot of people started
you afford it. T-Mobile, yeah, I deal with T-Mobile too. Yeah,
you could afford it. Now they're going back to T-Mobile. Today, T-Mobile is a player in the game now, and it's all due to Sarah Bond. So look, that's the reason why Microsoft hired her. They saw what she did with T-Mobile. What does that tell you, everybody? Look, you gotta stop and think about this. Phil Spencer's there, like Gold Grit was saying. He's there. Phil Spencer's there. Aaron Greenberg's there. Major Nelson, you name it, they're all there. So why do you need to call in Sarah Bond? Because they ain't doing it. You get it? Because if they was doing it, there was no
Sarah Bond. Yeah.
No need. Sarah Bond comes in, and we find out she's hearing the vision, and she's like, nah, that ain't gonna work. There's some fighting going on. Well, Phil's been there since 1988. You're gonna lose. So she had to succumb to that. You got to understand, I get why Sarah Bond is so distant. I get it. Because she probably was annoyed, and she ended up just going with the flow. We saw the report. We saw it. The truth came out. They had to learn how to get along. They came in, she was like, this is bogus. But they had to learn to get along. I was like, but listen, Sarah, it's all about the and the moon. Blah,
but legal, let me ask the question, right?
What? Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, my
It
bad,
was more like, look, this and this and this because of this and this and this, and eventually it just wore on her, and she said, okay, you know what I'm saying? So let's go for the broad aspect, and let's do this. We find out that this is an Xbox, is her. Now everybody wants to start looking at her for her strategies and looking down at it. She had no choice, people. Her boss was Phil Spencer. If Phil Spencer knocks you down and says, nah, we ain't coming in with all this aggressiveness because I'm trying to get rid of this, you got to come up with something else, right? You have a woman who just vigorously brought T-Mobile up. She's there to build on a brand, right? And she wasn't able to do that. So she's brought in to do it, wasn't able to do it. She conformed into what was already there. That's not how you do that. So she's coming up with all these gimmicks for Xbox. So it's no wonder when she left, she didn't address the core fans. I wouldn't be a liar either. I wouldn't lie to myself and do that either. Sarah Bond, you did the best you could. You gave us something beautiful in Game Pass. That will be your legacy. And you didn't look. I don't know what it was within the internal, right? Maybe your tiger approach to things rub people wrong. That could have been right. You could have been hard to work with. That could have been right. But on the outside looking in, you was a beautiful Black woman, who had some integrity, who brought the awareness and the value of Xbox. You did that, and we see you. So don't you hang your head down. We know the story. We know the backdrop. So you just had to conform. Look, you don't owe us anything, Sarah. I agree. You don't owe us anything because they never gave you a chance to fight for us. So she ain't got to write no letter to us. They didn't give her a chance. Go Grizz says, agree, Sarah got set up, you know? So she leaves,
She was
right?
she was a scapegoat. She was a
She's a
scapegoat.
scapegoat. Look, she says they say that she's gonna be there with a transition, but she doesn't have to show her face. We know that Sarah, through her actions, cared about us as far as the value. And that was the best she could do under this multi-strategy situation, this white flag that Phil did. I told y'all when Redfall, when he did that thing on Paris' show, there's nothing I can do. I can't get people to jump on the Xbox. That ain't what you say. Because look, the objective never was to get PlayStation fans to leave their brand. The objective was build your core audience within the brand. See? Build it. The problem is they couldn't build it. Gears of War 4. We're lucky we got that game. Lucky Gears of War still here. Within season 3, they had to fire Black Tusk and recreate the coalition. Xbox lost its identity. Bro, we went from Delta Squad in their 30s, champions of war, to playing nursery home characters and seeing nursery home characters and their children and their friends.
You don't make that shit up, man.
It should have been Gears of War 4 Friends. That's what the title should have been called. Gears of War 4s and Friends. Because we didn't even fight the locusts no more. We were fighting machines. Gears of War became the game. All identity lost. The damn game comes in and the characters were Terminators. And then they had the nerve to put Halo Spartans in the game. Dude, they put Spartans in the game and for multiplayer. Spartans. Games, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Look. Ferguson in here, right? He has a problem with smoking, right? The Gears of War franchise got blunts and cocaine and needles and everything else. These dudes are under war. They're in war. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are drug addicts, right? I'm just being funny. But these dudes are drug addicts, right? Rob Ferguson comes in here. Rob Ferguson
I
comes in here.
don't want to put no smoke in the game.
I don't want to put no cigarettes and cigars because of personal
problem.
What the hell are we doing?
And legal. I said again, you're 100% right, man. That is the dumbest. As a Gears fan, I'm glad that man gone, and that man went to Blizzard. He messed up Diablo. Listen. When Diablo 3 came out, it was terrible. It was terrible. But I mean, the Diablo 4 came out. It was terrible, Leo. And guess what? When that man left, what happened to Diablo?
What's up, Jeremy?
Yeah, no, he got better. He got better.
The issue. The issue identity with Xbox didn't just hurt the console. It hurt the games.
The games, yeah. It got better.
Games.
When Rob Ferguson left Blizzard, Diablo got better. They're putting the wrong people in, legal. They're putting these executives doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
It was a buddy. Look, I put it like this. The Game Awards, right? And this to this day, I just don't get it. You can sit here and throw the jabs at Jeff Keighley all you want to. I get it. I'm not excusing Jeff Keighley. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, let's look at the Game Awards, right? You can't tell me that from 2014 to now, Xbox don't have a Gotti somewhere in it. You can't tell. And for Microsoft, the only fight that I saw from somebody within Microsoft was Larry Hurd, the year that Forza Horizon 4 got robbed. Or 5. The year Forza Horizon 5, because Forza Horizon 5 came out in 2022, right, Games? 22,
2021.
21, there you go. I remember Larry Hurd throwing a few jabs at Jeff Keighley, man, because it's just you know, like what do Xbox have to do to win a guy, you know? And so when you saw Jeff Keighley, where's your exclusives? Where's your great exclusives? Where you that should have challenged you. You don't. Jeff Keighley is telling you, well, I'll recognize you. The industry don't even look at you serious. What's the problem? I don't see nothing coming out. I don't see nothing coming out there, right? So nothing was there. You had
there.
Dodge 2. That was your Gotti, and you put it on PlayStation. You put that game on PlayStation. And it was it's just
what game? What game?
Psychonauts 2. And I'm here to tell y'all.
No, Psychonauts 2 was on PlayStation. No, it was on PlayStation because
I don't care what the philosophy is. I'm trying to tell you, stop trying to justify the philosophy. I was never a fan of the philosophy games. I'm sticking to the bread and butter. Here's Psychonauts 2, y'all. And look, man, I've been gaming for a long time. Since the 80s, bro. Right? You can't tell me. And I've seen a lot of games. Maybe not I'm not like Hebot and them, right? J-Mac and them and other Zinc and you know and Jago 6. These iconic root gamers, right? That can just go on and on and on about some things, right? And there's Jago 6 right now just talking about you, right? These guys I consider these guys gaming historians, right? I wasn't like that as a kid, but it's been a pleasure meeting guys like that who were geeks for that type of stuff, right? And they're severe, they're PhDs. I'm student of the game, but these dudes were the PhDs of the game. They're really in tune with this stuff, right? You can learn a lot from them, right? You can't tell me that Psychonauts, what the heck is going on? Is that games? What is he doing? I don't even know what's going on with him.
Oh no, the internet cut off. Yeah, it keeps
okay. I didn't know what was
off.
going on. I was trying to get you.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on? Okay.
They keep cutting off.
Right. Look at Jago 6. Flex yourself, man. I've been doing this since the 70s. There you go, brother. It's you know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys have been around for a long time. So when I show, it's a blessing. Gaming has no age limit. It's like shooting pool. It's like playing golf, man. It's one of those games. It's one of those sports that are just timeless, and it's good to see y'all. But made. If I'm slightly off, there isn't 3 games better than it. It's in the top 3 for real, and I don't even know what other 2 could it possibly be. There's Dolomite in the 70s. You know, I can't. I just can't. I don't even know. When I played that game, I was mind blown. Instant legendary animated game of all time. Instant. And it's so good, games, that I didn't even want to beat it. And it's so long and refreshing. There was never a dull moment. For that game to be that long and not have dull moments, it's incredible. You keep that game on your file. You show that beautiful essence of Xbox. It was gone. It was gone. There was no value in it. Gone. And it didn't even have a chance. It just overlooked it. Why? Because, hey, it's already tainted. It's already desecrated. Like, you got to understand. I know there's tribalism. And I don't even, to me, the tribalism has gaming. It has to do with gaming. See? That's a whole separate objective. You're talking about weirdos. I'm not talking about weirdos. That shouldn't even have been in anybody's mind. You can't tell somebody how they feel about your platform. If they come out and say it's trash, it's trash. And if that's social media. They have access to social media and they want to express their feelings on social media, so be it. Your job is to make the better product. There's some people that no matter what you do, it's going to hate your product. So all that tribalism and toxicity is going to be here. Oh, guess what? Newsflash, it's going to be here next generation. Asha said she's looking for 25 more years of Xbox. Guess what, people? That means 25 more years of toxicity. You're never going to get rid of it. You don't hear no other brand talk about this stuff because it has nothing to do with gaming.
Well, amen. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We're over here worrying about stuff that has nothing to do with
gaming.
Make great games, right? Center it to your core. Let your core talk about it. See, we can't talk about nothing because the PlayStation fans are look at this game we got. They're doing more talking over us. There's no reason to get an. That's bad business. There's no reason to get an Xbox. Then they don't even buy the game. They put the bad press out there and don't even buy our games. So what rules in the gaming media space? Negative press of Xbox tax. That's what rules. So then, no matter what happens, even though you think, oh, we're putting our games everywhere for everybody playing, that's a positive. Guess what takes over? The fact that, oh, there's no reason to buy Xbox. So that's what the article's talking. Another Xbox game could possibly go on a PlayStation 5. They don't do that. We have an Xbox DIRREC, people. I'm serious. Like, I'm dead serious when listen. This stuff makes absolutely no sense to me to the third core. Look, we had 3 good years in a row, flawless victories. And the Indiana Jones announcements was one of the most dumbest things that could have possibly happened. You wait and reveal that it's coming on PlayStation at the end of the show. Super dumb.
At Gamescom, Gamescom at Jeff Keighley's show, and you know Jeff Keighley don't like Xbox.
Was super dumb, and I said, "Damn!" Like,
and that was super dumb too. Yeah,
it was super dumb.
Why you announce it at a game show? Why you just announce it when the Xbox version come out? Then when the waiting 6, 7, 8 months down the road, then you announce an Xbox, PlayStation.
As an Xbox fan, I'm trying to get people to understand that don't understand. And look, I know DIRREC Gaming isn't the biggest channel out here, but I pride this channel on being as honest as it can, telling the truth as it can, and shooting straight as we can. We don't care. I value people like games trailers because when I was doing Spaces, Games was always there. And he always made sense to me. I value the mighty chat pack, who was the chit chat community, and they changed their name to the chat pack. They did that. I value them. I value our panel. I value the realest one. I value Spar 117. I value Resident Gamer Zero. And I just want to say, God bless Resident Zero Gamer. He's going through a tremendous loss of a loved one. Shout outs to you, my brother. He couldn't be here with us tonight. He really wants to, and he's making it from all the negativity in the gaming space. He really wants to focus more on direct gaming and playing games. So when you hear him on this show, he'll probably be talking about more games that he's been playing and just focusing more on Xbox more because Asha's got him kind of hype, and he's making the transition. And everybody makes their own decisions, right? As far as I go, the reason why I'm hyped is this show. I wanted to come out here and do my one-on-one. Games hit me up, said, hey, I want to be on, so I got him on. But I needed to come out here and speak our language because I know damn well I'm not alone with these feelings. I know I'm not. The PlayStation community, we make fun of them. We do. We call them the Zen column, but that's exactly what you're supposed to. And this is why, right? No matter what happens, they know what to hold on to. The console sales make the perception that PlayStation is doing okay, even if it's not. We know that it doesn't. We know it. But if you take away the perception, then what do you have? You have absolutely nothing. And they're hanging on to that. We know that the console sales didn't save Blue Point. We know the console sales ain't giving them AAA first-party games. We know. But guess what? They're not going to come out and admit to it because that'd be dumb on their part. Then the perception is gone. Your job, core fabric, hold your perception of your brand. Phil Spencer, our leader, did that to us. So we couldn't fight. There was nothing. How can you overtalk your leader? So Games would call me the last 2 days, and Games is just programmed. I said, Games, you're thinking that way, man, because you was programmed that way. Get out of that thinking. I was never a fan of it because it never made any sense to me. Me and Realist had wars over this, man, over the phone from about 3 years ago. And he finally persuaded me that this is what it's going to. He told me what was going to happen, and it happened. That's the stupid part. He saw it. And I was like, bro, you sound stupid as hell. Ain't nobody that stupid to do. And it happened.
But legal. Yeah, it happened, right? So, but I don't tend to going to reverse that. I don't think they can. They can. No. Let me say something real quick. They can't reverse that. The damage.
Reverse Games. Don't just say they can't. Like something's impossible. Explain why you think they can't do something.
Because the damage is already done. Once you put their games on other platforms, people are gonna question it every time they're gonna have a showcase or direct gaming. Let's say, for example, right? Let's say Gears E Day is a PC and Xbox exclusive, right? But people going to media say, where's going to be the PS5 version? Look, how many years? No. How many years these clowns think that Starfield will come to PS5? Why do you have that mentality? Because because Fable's on it.
Yep.
What are those? Forza.
He's right.
Halo. All these games on PlayStation. So people saying that Starfield will be on PlayStation. Look, I don't think it will happen in April. But let's say it doesn't happen. People will start questioning that do every game will go me on PlayStation or something. Look, when Phil Spencer came out, right? I think when he bought Bethesda, this is before they bought Activision, right? Yes, there were contracts that you can't really put, kill the contract. Now he could. That's what I hate about Phil Spencer. He could kill the contracts, but he respect the contract, right? Games like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. That's our games. That's not PlayStation games. That's our games. That's Bethesda games, right? We own the IP now. But these games were PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive. It took us a year to get these games on Xbox, right? So I get the contracts, right? But legal. Remember he said about case by case basis, right? Now, not all things will go there. All right, Starfield was questioned to be on PS5 for a long time before it even came to PlayStation, Xbox and PC, and it came to Xbox and PC, and it's still Xbox and PC exclusive, right? But there's rumors starting to flow in 2023 or 2024 that Microsoft will start to do this multiplayer strategy, and that's when they say Starfield will be on PS5. So he lied. I get it. So listen, it's just like Microsoft putting games on PC. Once you put your games on one platform, people's gonna start another platform legal. People are gonna start questioning it, my dude. Look at Sony. Well, Sony said that Horizon Zero Dawn is the only game they're gonna put on PC. We're not gonna play any other games on PC. And guess what? A lot of people in the community say, no, that's BS. We're gonna start questioning. We're gonna start port begging. and that's what port being hurts. And a lot of games playing on PC. The
But
damage
here's
already
the
done.
thing,
No. The
right?
damage already done, dogs. I don't think.
No,
Listen,
no, you made some. No, listen. You made some great points. Okay, excellent points. I'm not even going to debate. That's you're right. Okay, here's my thing. The PC. I've always said this on DIRREC Gaming. The reason why PCs never mattered and nobody ever cared if a game went to PC because they don't play the console games like you think they do. You're gonna get maybe 1 million or 2 more copies out of that, and that's it. They don't know where the PC community plays these games came from. They don't. They absolutely don't. The PC community ain't the community that's making these games go 20 million. What are you talking about? They play the oldest games in the world in the gaming history of foundations of history of gaming. You're still playing games back in 1993. The empire that you build new games upon, it's never has been. So you put your game over there as a hustle. It's hustle money. I've always said that. PC is always used as a hustle platform because it's open. The PC platform is open. There's too many companies out there for it to be closed in. All right? It's open. So if you put your game over there on PC and it could sell a few million more, that's a win for you. That's a win. That's not strange. This is why PlayStation said, yeah, we're gonna go with PC. Because nobody's gonna fight that. Look, we gotta stop acting like Xbox and PC is something that was never an origin. Halo was on Apple, bro, and it went to Xbox and it went to PC. Our first exclusive was really a console exclusive. Let's stop with all this. We have an Alzheimer's disease or something. We've already been like that. We were like that from the beginning. So let's stop acting like Gears of War wasn't on PC. What are we doing out here, Dolomite? Why are we acting like Xbox and PC is something that just happened in 2016 or 2017? That was in the beginning. Gears of War, what's it? Gears of War, damn.
the first Gears of War, the first
Gears of War
Gears of
Ultimate.
One.
Gears of War Ultimate.
Yeah. No. Legal. No. Gears of War One was on Xbox in 2000. No. Legal.
No, listen.
Legal.
Gears
Yeah,
of
go ahead.
War Ultimate was the PC version of Gears of War. That's it.
Yeah, because Gears of War One came out in 2006 on the Xbox. 1 year later, it came on the PC.
Right, and it had the mansion. The
And then
PC had the
mention,
longest version of it. We didn't have the.
We didn't have that. We didn't have that.
Exactly.
We didn't have that. And people understand. Back then, Microsoft would definitely would put the games on PC, but people never. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people.
Brand new
Yeah, this is not a brand new thing.
Right.
But see, the problem. I'm speaking to this dude on Twitter right now, right? He misses the 360 era, right? Everybody thinks that the Xbox 360 era was the best Xbox era of all time, right? And he naming games that like Halo 3, Gears 2, Fable 2, Ninja Gaiden 2, Modern Warfare 2. Yes, Call of Duty, helped sell the Xbox 360. BioShock, Oblivion, Forza Horizon 2, Lost Odyssey, Mass Effect, Alan Wake, and Vipiana, right? All of these games are great. But most of these games, outside of Halo, Gears, and Forza, they're on PlayStation. They were time exclusive. But see, back then, Microsoft. No. Okay, look.
I can't help it. Man. I had to laugh, man. I'm sorry, man.
No. I said back in the days, Microsoft followed PlayStation footsteps in the PS2 era. Time exclusives, launch the console early, make it less affordable, and that's how they beat PlayStation 3. They beat PlayStation 3. They was a market leader. Legal. But what happened? They got cocky. Just like PlayStation got cocky in the PS3 era. They got cocky. They went to the TV BS in the Xbox One era, and look what happened now. Phil Spencer did not fight. He want this kumbaya thing, or I don't want this, or I don't like the console wars. That's why a lot of Xbox fans are pissed off with this dude. And I've been pissed off with this dude for years. Did the strategy work? No. But why do you keep continuing to doing it? These PlayStation fans don't like your games. They don't like your consoles. You can't please, listen, legal. You can't please your enemy or something, dogs. Your enemy is PlayStation. They don't like you. They never do. They don't want you in the gaming business. The
They
gaming
said,
media don't like you.
they
They
said it.
don't. They don't respect you. They don't like it. Look, okay, legal. Remember I told you on the phone, right? Well, Sony shut down Blue Point. I will bet my last dollar there will be no 50 articles. Where the 50 articles at? Where's the X PlayStation data videos and all that stuff, right? Nowhere to be found. 24 hours later, Microsoft
Breaking
hold
news.
my
I got
beer.
breaking news. Breaking
Yeah.
news right now. So for everybody, this is what I'm talking about, right? Everybody's going with their strong big tech. People's got to, if you're not big tech, you got to spend that money. Let me show you what Sony's about to spend their money on. And this is something that could really work into their favor. I'm just saying. So this is, don't get it confused that if this is the moment for Microsoft, but we're used to dropping the ball. So let's so Sony, we know Sony's not messing around when it comes to PlayStation. They're going to be
No, no,
locked
no.
in, dead serious. They're going to try to do everything they can. But here's breaking news. Sony is reportedly developing a new technology that could dramatically reduce game file sizes, potentially shrinking a 100 gigabyte title down to around 100 megabytes. If accurate, the breakthrough could transform how games are stored, downloaded, and distributed worldwide. Modern video games are often demand massive storage space due to high resolution, textures, detailed environments, and complex audio files. A compression system of this scale would ease storage limitations, speed up downloads, and reduce bandwidth requirements for players across all regions. It could also improve accessibility in areas with slower internet connections. Industry observers are cautiously optimistic. While such compression will require advanced data optimization and real-time streaming techniques, Sony's research suggests serious investment in solving one of gaming's biggest technical challenges. If the innovation becomes a reality, it could redefine digital distribution standards and reshape the future of console gaming. Smaller files may soon power much bigger worlds. There you go. So look, you see, everybody is going to invest their money in anything that they think that they can get an upper hand in, right? We know that Sony's always going to be in some kind of compression mode, right? Why is that? Because they're the disc founders. They're the sound founders, kind of speak. They are the masters of sound. They're the masters of audio, stuff like that. So they're always going to be trying to figure out how to make something work within that disc form, because as long as they can make that disc form, they make their own disc. They ain't got to go to Philips and everything. They can do their own stuff. So that's a win-win for them. Now, let's go back for a minute. Let's go back for a minute, Jago and Mighty Chat Pat, game trailers. Let's go back for a minute. When I was talking about my version of Return of Xbox, right? When I'm thinking about the Return of Xbox, after what Asha was saying, and the examples that I was talking about with the fundamental values of business, right? With the core audience, right? Growing from the core audience. And you remember I was talking when I was reading some things, and I was always naming 3 things, right? Now dig this. Look at the 3 things that Microsoft has that it can build off of. It already has 3 things. Microsoft has hardware, Microsoft has cloud, and Microsoft has mobility. Why is Microsoft worrying about putting all their stuff on other platforms when they already have technology? And I get it. Somebody's going to come here and say, well, there's software job. I get it. But they don't have, there's a reason why things are. If you want your cloud to look great, right? When it comes to Xbox, right? They've already did one great thing. They did where you can play your games without the storage. You want to go beyond that. You want to take it to another level, because that's what everybody's waiting on. Everybody's waiting on a next level Xbox, something that's going to take everything to the next level. You want to go back to the roots, then we ain't going to have no more memory cards. We ain't got that no more. I say make that damn thing storage, cloud storage console. Straight up digital cloud storage console. So no matter what you play, no matter what you do, your saves are in the cloud. And that's infinite. That's infinite. You'll never fill that up. You want to impress? You start there with cloud. You want to impress the gaming? Take the paywall down for multiplayer games. Remove it. Remove it. Because why? You're a data company, right? You're a PC company, right? Remove it. You're the leader in AI technology. There ain't nobody close to you. You're operating. Ain't nobody close to you. They bringing up Linux. Linux is nowhere near Windows. Nowhere near Windows. Microsoft has like a 67% grip on that. Linux probably has like 13% in the field. Man, it ain't even close. It's not even close. That's just Linux fans making some articles up. But when you read about that, man, Microsoft has pure dominancy over that type of stuff. You want to make Xbox look attractive? You're going to have to put some assets into it that just automatically kicks ass. You can't hold back the quality now. You can't hold back your accessibility power. You have cloud now. You can implement that. That thing can go. You're making Windows 365. So we already know what you're doing with your cloud. You're about to make cloud PCs, desktops. So if you're going to invest in that, you mean to tell me you can't make that Xbox cloud save free? We shouldn't even have SSD cards. We don't need them. We don't need them. The cloud could go beyond that. All virtual power. What are we talking about? You see what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Access it. Put it in there. Because that memory card isn't an Xbox memory card. So you ain't making money off of it like that. Okay, you want to put the technology in the Seagate card and sell it. Okay, fine. But you got the cloud now. Why are we even talking about anything with hardware concerning memory? We got the cloud. You see what I'm saying? You got backwards compatibility. Okay, that's great. But that's old news. That's backwards compatibility has been here since the 360. We don't have to talk about that like that's a redefining moment for Xbox. Oh, backwards compatibility. We've been had it. That's an identity of Xbox. That's not making us jump up and down. We need our identity back. This is why I'm doing the show. Where do we need our identity back? So where do we start? I love when she says we got to start back with that. But are we really starting back with that? Don't say you're starting back with that. And we're talking about, well, you know, we're going to honor what Phil. No. Nothing. You're here. We want to see your plan. We don't want to see what we've already been seeing. And look, we understand that transitions take time. I understand that. And I understand her saying it's a plan until it's not a plan. I understand that. Right now, Phil's plan is going to continue for a while. So I figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the questions as to why did we take this direction in the first place? Why did we go this way? What made us go this way? What made us do this instead of that? What made us do this instead of that? Now, I like that about her because she's going to really see it. She got off track because she knows coming from OpenAI that, look at OpenAI, for instance. Look at OpenAI. Its success is because of its core values. It succeeds because of its core principles. Microsoft spent $80 billion on AI. Come on, man. 80 billion. You see what I'm saying? 80 billion. We're sitting around here on Xbox and we can't even get Xbox put on a game and see Micro Studio, Xbox Studio games because we don't have any. Our studio games are down right now. We haven't been hyped about anything like that in years because our studio games are just hitting mid-level. They're not extravagant. And there's nothing wrong with you as an Xbox fan holding Xbox that high. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to tell no Xbox fan that you can't aim for the moon with Xbox. You need to. We know the capabilities. We know what it can be. So why would we want a mid experience with it? So they're starting right with this premium experience because that's what Apple gives them. That's what Samsung gives them. That's what Nintendo, PlayStation gives their audience. They give them that. They give them a premium feel to make them feel like they got something that's worth it. No matter what you think, see, they could care less. They care less if you think Baby Steps is trash. They don't care. It's on PlayStation. That's how they care. Death Stranding 2 up. Y'all ain't got it. It's on PlayStation. All this trash up. You don't have it on PlayStation. That's it. And when PlayStation fans don't get their way, you know what they do? They bitch. They bitch. That's what they do. They get silly. They start taking off their clothes and dipping themselves in oil and baby oil and you know, mismatching their clothes and going on. You know what I'm saying? They get crazy, start running down the highway butt naked. They start burning their consoles and stuff. They get silly. You know what I'm saying? Jumping off roofs and going on. Eating hay and carrots for breakfast. They get silly, man. But what do? We just take it. We just take it because we're told, well, you know, it is what it is. When you got, so look, everybody goes through hardships in life, right? But if Dolomite, Rangy 4, Jago 6, and the rest of the Monty Pat chat loses a job today, their situation isn't going to make Channel 3 news. You know what the world's going to tell them? Get your ass up out that door and go find a job. That's real world. Social media, when these developers lose their job, we write sob stories for them. Nah, that's just life. They make a lot of money. You know what? They have avenues to get another job. And if not, same way life tells us, same way I'm going to tell them, get your ass up, go get a job. Because you're a grown-ass person. You're not no little kid, but somebody got to take care of you. Yeah, I'm empathetic to a point. But get your ass, here's my empathy. Here's how I empathize with that. Get your ass up, go do a job. That's it. Because the bills don't stop coming in for nobody here. I'm not going to sit up on here and write a damn letter out talking about how they all say that. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And my thing is, I know certain people that's different. It hits different. So when they're talking from a personal standpoint. But you don't build your brand off of that. Nobody cares who you like, right? When you saw Phil talking about, you know, Corey's situation with God of War, we didn't care. We didn't care about that. Why are you bringing Corey's situation with God of War over here to the Xbox community like we care? It's like he cared more about his situation with God of War than the co-audience. When God of War came out, what game you gonna be playing? I'm gonna be playing God of War. We got our games out. And you talking about playing God of War. That's just a bad representation. Yeah, we know that games in general are fun, but you are head of a brand. You don't see that in real life. You don't see nobody working for Chevy. You don't see the boss about, well, what truck you gonna be driving out there? I'm driving out the brand new F-150. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Not no president of nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it made us scratch our heads. We're sitting here looking at that stuff. It ain't try. It's not mentality. It's basic. It's like, damn, man, you know, we see we're trying to follow you, Phil. We're trying to get it. Okay. Well, you want to put your games everywhere? Okay. You put your games on PlayStation. So we're sitting here like, okay. So let's let them do it. See what happens. But what are we gonna get back in return? You ain't get shit. We got Helldivers 2. The reason we got, because it was tanking. It was tanking. Okay, they wanted to spice it up. Well, we'll give them gears where we loaded. We'll give them gear, introduce them to gears. Like, come on, y'all. We can read between the lines. Helldivers 2 was tanking. We always said it didn't make no sense while Helldivers 2 went on Xbox. It never made sense. It came on over here and it thrived. We got big money in the building. Hey guys, I'm a PlayStation guy. Stop this crazy stuff and just get you a PlayStation. Look, man, we ain't getting no PlayStation, bro. We ain't gonna be over there playing no old ass games with remasters, bro, and no games. We're not. PlayStation is not a track. Don't get it twisted, bro. But I feel you gonna stand 10 toes on that platform. You do your thing, bro. We got bigger and better things to look forward to. I mean, we got bigger and better things to look forward to, man. But look, man, you know, it's pathetic. You know, you gotta understand. Let another company fall on its own merit. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation right now is struggling on its own merit. It got nothing to do with the Xbox, and it damn sure ain't got nothing to do with Nintendo. Its own fans is letting it down, and they're in trouble with lawsuits. So if PlayStation can't get their act together, it's your perfect time. It's your perfect time to get yourself going and get yourself presentable. Why they are struggling as a company themselves. Sony came out and said this. Not the New Legal, not the Mighty Cat Pack, not anybody else you may think is haters of PlayStation. Sony said it. They're struggling. They're struggling. Now, it ain't for us to be sitting over here talking about, oh man, what was point and man, what is PlayStation gonna do? Because I don't know. Maybe we need to go over here and buy some of their games on PC. That's not our responsibility. Sony's responsibility is to make sure PlayStation is good for its core audience. If I decide to go get a PlayStation, I just go get a PlayStation. If I don't, I don't. I always got way of PC anyway to play the better version. Because PC, what? It's a side hustle platform. We can get Steam right off our Xbox now through our web browser. We don't have to go and get a desktop TV. We don't have to do that on Xbox. See, Microsoft has a great OS, so it gives it a better advantage. It's got some advantages about it that can make itself really unique for the future. So I'm optimistic. I'm positive about what's going on. But I just wanted to come out here tonight and speak on this stuff, man, because this stuff it's just a little silly, man. I see how people feel like, you know, nothing is really transpiring. I can see how the Xbox identity lost itself. And that's true. It's just true, it did. There's no lying about it. I hope that Asha can get this thing going under Matt Booty with Matt Booty. She deserves it. I mean, give the woman a chance. All we can do is welcome her. Don't, like she said, don't just judge her from her words. Let the let the proof speak for itself. I mean, because she's come out and made some strong words. She's basically said some things that the Xbox community really feels. I like how she came out today with a picture of Larry Herb, Xbox Major Nelson. You know, he lost his job. Bring him back. Bring him back as a voice. He doesn't have to do all that hard work anymore. He doesn't have to do all that hard man work. But let's get him back on this week on Xbox. Let's get him back when we have some Xbox shows. Because he's got good radio personality. Let's use him. Get him back in the game. Rangy Force says a lot of gamers act like JRPGs are the only grill of gaming. And I mean, listen, man, everybody's got their genre, right? You know, it's gonna be Rain. But I think this says it all. This right here, for her to say this, she stayed 10 toes. We don't need no gimmicks. If you're going to be serious moment, because I already see it. We would come into fruition because the game go ahead and crucify her. So she said this. The thing about other products that are taking off, they built really great communities with their audiences. See what I'm saying? Anytime you talk about other platforms, whether it's PlayStation, Nintendo, Apple, Samsung, any of them, and their success comes from their communities and their audience, right? We're the stewards of a lot of communities, and we have been for decades. We're the stewards. Xbox does have a community. The thing that makes a community is that you build for the core. What I don't want to do is have any creator at Xbox dilute their focus to chase an emerging community. That's facts. Sharma explained, if we want to invest in a new community, we'll look at how to do that. But it's really important that people stay true to their core when they're building. That's it. So to go to big money's standpoint to tell us about PlayStation, right? It's shameful that we have a CEO talking about building a community, and here we are trying to celebrate our 25th anniversary. My man says, hey, family, I like your show. I wish you all the success in the world. Have a great show, but Xbox is still doo-doo. Take care, family. Salute, man. Hey, kick us way down, fam. You better hope next generation ain't got a tag on your toe. Hope it don't have a tag on your toe, baby. We coming, dog. I hope we, this is what I hope. For the spirit of competitiveness. See what he did? That's just what it is in our culture. It's fun. You laugh at it. Thanks for the shout out, my man. And thank you for the kind words. Look, that's what it's about. We get the jab in, we move on, and we wait and we watch. Microsoft's getting back into that ring, burn that white flag. That white flag should have been burned years ago. Listen to your community. I don't even care. Listen to your community. If the Xbox fans are saying, listen, we're going to have to get a little stingy. We want to see some exclusives again. We want to see this. We want to see that. Listen to them. Listen to them. You don't always have to look at your core and look at them like they're wanting something back. We're Xbox fans. We never cared about what the other platforms are doing. We're telling you to focus on us. When they're saying those exclusives, focus on us. We don't care 4 or 5 years down the line when everything on plateau and you need to send something off, send it off. If it makes sense. We're not talking about keeping Minecraft exclusive. We're not talking about that. We're not a dumb gaming community. We're not a dumb gaming community. We understand there's certain games that just make sense to be on everywhere. As many people that can play. Call of Duty Mobile, to be sitting on no Xbox. We get all of that. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. But what we're talking about is getting this identity back. The Xbox core fans want to see some fight, and they're talking about make these great games. Get our talking back, because we want to see some great accessories again. Get us back into our game, right? Instead of worrying about everybody else, put us back into what makes us so good. And I think that as long as the leadership of Xbox does that, Xbox can really go somewhere now more than ever, now that the technology is here. I think now Xbox can be utilized like no other. So that's my take on it, y'all. I wanted to come out here and just, I get it. This is kind of like a I get it show. I know you're gonna see a lot of stupid stuff. I know they're out here trying to make fun of her as a gamer. It's silly how the media, that's what I'm talking about. I'm glad some people have finally came out in the media and said, listen, that woman don't have to know a lick of gaming, right? There's so many people who came from other success stories of other companies that had nothing to do with gaming that were hired in to run a gaming business. Because at the end of the day, they're hiring these people to run a business. So, I'm glad that finally came out. I get it that, people can think that she's going to be all about AI. She was a machine. It's just, we understand the goofiness that happens on social media. But I hope that she sees what we've been seeing. A lot of Xbox fans aren't out here just running their mouth about certain people in the gaming media. We don't want to see them around our community no more. Some of us mean that. Some of us mean that. What Ryan McAfee did today was just silly, but that's not something he's not known to do. He worded himself very well, very strategic, but at the same time, he looked dumb for saying stuff like that. He looked dumb. But Ryan McAfee's been exposed by the Xbox community. He's been excommunicated. Xbox community don't take Ryan McAfee seriously. He knows that. And he's not a kind of person that should ever, he's not the standard of what gaming is anyway as a gamer. He's not the standard. None of these clowns are. Not Destin, not Jez Corden, none of them, not Tom Warren, none of them. None of them. But they got a platform. They're part of a platform, got gaming media, where they can say what they want to say. They got that, but they're not the standard for gaming. What they say really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? She's out here being humble. She's coming into something. She knows she's got a game. She don't have to prove anything to nobody. You guys ain't even on her level. She came from the AI department. President. Y'all ain't even on her level. Y'all over here talking about video games. Like that's something to be held up at a high IQ. Video games. This woman come from Core AI, the president of Core AI, and they're questioning her about stuff. That's how silly this is. You know what I'm saying? You got these dudes on social media holding up kitty cats. They're sentimental about a pussy cat. And they're over here talking about she needs her gamer tag score up. We're talking gamer tag score to the president of Core AI. I mean, that's the era of gaming that I'm in. You want to ask we got the wrong people in high places to represent the not just the Xbox community, but PlayStation, Nintendo, all the gaming community as a whole. These dudes are jokes. Clowns. This stuff is funny out here. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I just wanted to be careful. I want her to really study, learn some of these, go look at these people, man. These are chameleons. They like Games Hero said, they say one thing, but they love to see Xbox when it's down. They love it. They relish that because that's what keeps those lights on. They hate to see a consistency of good things go on for Xbox. The standards are different. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. If you're a PlayStation fan, you got to one up on that because you're not going to get that bad news like we do, not in the gaming media. That's just the way it is. And us Xbox fans, we've been used to that. We're used to that. We love being the underdog. So in the meantime, get ready for Grand Theft Auto 6. PlayStation fans got a rushed Wolverine game. So my prediction was right. Damn, man. Games trailers lost that one with me. They rushed Wolverine. Grand Theft Auto 6 scared the shit out of me. They moved it up. And the game got delayed. And they moved it up. That's just, I have a weird feeling about it. I just don't think it's going to be optimized right. I could be wrong, but it was already looking suspect. But let's see what happens for Wolverine. Phantom Blade Zero, Wolverine getting pushed around. That's not good because those PlayStation fans are going to buy one of them, both of them. And we all know the biggest game of the year is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. So I don't know, man. I just think Sony did the right thing. I think they did the right thing pushing it up, get it far away from Grand Theft Auto 6 because it definitely wasn't going to last. But do I think Wolverine is going to be a big game? Yes, because they don't have nothing else. But do I think it's going to be epic? No. But I think it's going to be a big game, and it's going to be a game that's going to be good for, like I said, the core audience of what? PlayStation. You know, we ain't getting it, but we're going to have something. I want Gears of War E-Day to come out. I said September, late September. I want it to come out around September too. I got Gears of War E-Day for the Gotti. That's me. That's me personally. Gears of War E-Day to Gotti on Di-RRec Gaming. I said it. So now, you know, it is what it is. But this is supposed to be the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Where's the excitement at? See what I'm saying? That baffles me. I was excited about her saying we're gonna have some announcements coming soon. We need something. What's going on? We need something. It's just crazy to me. So I hope these announcements are great. I hope we see some new trailers or something. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. This is just the weirdest. It's weird over here. I'm being serious. Being on Xbox right now, it's weird. I'm not here to front. It's weird. We just want to see some accuracy. We want to see some accuracy. Still, it's bizarre. If you're not an Xbox fan, you don't understand. But it's bizarre. And I wouldn't want to put this bizarre situation on no gamer. It's weird. So Xbox, leadership of Xbox, I hope y'all stuff right. It's time to stop stepping on a rake. It's time to listen to your core audience. Try it. Try to do it for your company. Just try. We understand. I truly believe that we understand that the future is going to be a multi-platform situation. You can be a multi-platform situation without the expense of losing your identity of your brand. That's it. That's all I'm saying. You can do that. No, G-Man, I don't think Wolverine's gonna be a console exclusive. It's coming to PC. The thing now is, but 99% of the time, a game is gonna be a console exclusive. It's not just gonna be an exclusive. By default, the game is gonna be on PC because they're already making the games on PC, right? Comes off the PC optimized on the console. There you have it. But the rank, yeah, don't the rank step, it has to stop. This is just silly. It's silly out here. So the year of Xbox anniversary that we still don't have no parade for, no nothing. It's just crazy, realist. Yeah, I'm about to end it, famo. Yes, sir. It's just man, it's most part, the feel good is that I like seeing the hypeness of the Xbox community hyped up about her, and it's hopeful that she can turn some things around because she's doing some things that we already like by being active in our community. I'm going to end it with that. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all enjoyed my rant. Shout out for Game and dropping in. I know it's heavy over there in New York. Yeah, they're having a terrible time with this blizzard. Shout out to my man, the realest one in the chat, the panel, who's supposed to come in today, but he's busy being a great father, taking care of the kids, man. A lot of sports events and stuff still going on down in the H-Town. My son just got through playing basketball, so I understand season's over. They went undefeated in district and ended with a 9-game winning streak. So I'm hyped up on that. Jago 6, we need to do something. Hey, we got Resident Evil. We got Resident Evil coming out, the Requiem, this Friday, I believe.
Yeah, yep. I'm getting Resident Evil tomorrow.
Get it. Thanks, Sean. Softball season never ends, dog. I hear you, Rails. I hear you.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
thank y'all, man.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
What'd you say, Games?
I said thank you, man. Thank you. Let me speak, man.
Oh no, hey, no problem, bro. Thanks for popping up. I just hope I gave y'all justice, man. I hope I kept it as true as I could. You know, just to, you know, that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's just how I feel. I really want to feel that good feeling that I used to have for Xbox. It's lost. This generation has been boring to me. It's been boring. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I heard about the new generation, that's all I'm looking for. Look, there's 3 games to me, just 3, and that's a shame, ain't it? But there's 3 games to me, y'all, that have defined this generation so far. And when I'm talking about these 3, I'm talking about, well, it's gonna be 4, really. And the 4th one ain't came out yet, but I think y'all already know which one that one is. That's not gonna be a secret. But 4 games, right? Here's my 4 games where I think they put a lot of effort. They did the best they could to push the bar for this console right here. The first one out the gate was Cyberpunk 2077. First one out the gate. Second one, Alan Wake 2. Third, I would have to say, you know what? I'm lying. I can't say that. I can't. I was going. Nah, I'm gonna have to switch it up. It's 2077. It's Alan Wake 2. Of course, it's gonna be Grand Theft Auto 6. And what's the other one, y'all? I guess I'm gonna have to go with Gears of War E-Day. I'm gonna go with those. Those 4 games right there, to me, from what I'm already seeing, are gonna be the games that push these consoles, these consoles to the bar. They're really gonna be on a whole other level. That's what I think. And that's about it. I mean, I'm not really for anything else. I'm not really hyped about like that. A new game comes out, okay, you know, all right, cool. But I haven't been wowed. You know what I'm saying? This generation, I just haven't been wowed. So I'm trying to get wowed again. I'm sorry. Obscure Expedition 33 was an excellent game. It was a very nice visual, excellent game. But it's right underneath that. Not underneath that, but not super mind blowing, but it's right there. But so you see, I mean, I'm just ready, man, for some get back into everybody having a great core audience, growing from it. The communities hyped about what they got, the games, the great gaming developers, and excited about making their games and the trailers and come out. I mean, let's get back to this gaming essence, man. Let's get this culture back. So shout out to everybody that came out on Di-RRec Gaming to listen to me, listen to game trailers, Yo, like I said, man, this is the new legal representing DIRREC Gaming. If you like what we're about, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, crack it like the Liberty Bell, hit that. And I don't care, smash on the desktop. Just you hit that like. Never miss a one. We're on a stage with all these mics. We want you up on the stage with us so we can perform. Everybody can see the green lights out here, man. Yo, we come here to do one thing and one thing only, and that's tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us gaming. Tonight and Stanky tucking. We don't want to see that. Yeah, Elden Ring was another one. Elden Ring did a damn good job, G-Man. I'm glad you said it. Elden Ring did put that work in. I'll give Elden Ring put some respect on Elden Ring. We don't want to see nobody tucking their chain, Rain G4. If you see them out here tucking, call them out. Ain't no Debo and nothing over here in these green streets. Keep your Xbox chain out. And listen, man, always don't let nobody take your extra man in life. Everybody deserves a second chance, even Xbox. So as we about to get up out of here, our goal is to bring gaming back to the streets and streets back to the gaming.
Yep.
Game trailers,
Hey.
be safe up there in New York, man. Stay warm,
Oh,
man.
no, there's no gone.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
most of the snow gone. Yeah. Yeah.
The snow melted.
But you know what? We know why? Because it's, the weather is getting warmer today and tomorrow.
Wow.
The last time we had a snowstorm, it was in the 20s and the 15 degrees. It was ice.
Wow. So y'all, so all the snow is about to be melted. That's
Oh
what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Tomorrow's
be
gonna
back.
rain.
Well,
Tomorrow's gonna rain. Yeah, I gotta go. So tomorrow I'm trying to get Resident Evil 6. I mean, no, 6, 9, and all that stuff. So I might do a review.
Yes, do a review, man, and send me the link, bro.
Yeah,
send me the link.
I'm a fan of Resident Evil.
Yes, sir. Let's go have fun on Resident Evil, y'all. Yo, shout out to all the gamers out there putting in that work. This is New Legal representing Di-RRec Gaming. Y'all stay safe. God bless, and I'll see you on the next show. In the meantime, gonna throw the tools up. Peace.